12th round of the GP4 Offline Championship season takes place here in Belgium for the Belgian Grand Prix at the very infamous Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Now I'm your host today, Jordan, and welcome. We're now past the halfway point of the season. Last round we had a very dramatic race with both Will Miller and Florian Volker retiring on the first lap of the Grand Prix, meaning that Jay McKenzie came through to win and keep his faint title hopes alive. So we're here at Spa where, as we know, absolutely anything can happen here at this race, so I'm very much looking forward to this Grand Prix. There'll be 44 laps, there's 20 corners, the lap record set by Joseph Willows back in 2009. The tyres we'll be using for this race will, for once, be a different tyre than the hard. They will be the super soft tyres, and the driver today was given to Rick Jan last time out. But here is the starting grid for the Belgian Grand Prix. On pole position, or I should say, on the front row, are the two Mercedes with Will Miller on pole, with Jay McKenzie alongside him in second position. Third position is Florian Volker, followed by Amar Carr in fourth. Fifth position is Joseph Willows, followed by Belgian Pedrina, a good qualifying by him in sixth. Seventh position is his teammate Rick Jan, followed by Miguel Scow in eighth. On the fifth row of the grid, I should say, is Roman Quag and Robert Ionescu. The sixth row of the grid is Franco Lopez and Evan Byrne. On the seventh row of the grid, we have Franco Gamba and Bartius Kloss. On the eighth row of the grid, we have Robert Hunter and David Greenwood for Toro Rosso and Lotus. On the ninth row of the grid, we have George Rowe and Carlos Rosso for Lotus and Haas. 19th place, we have Roberto Gamba and Etienne Jones, who had qualified in 50th, had a 5-place grid penalty from Hungary. Tejas Tovic in 21st, and Oliver Glaze in 22nd, who had a 10-place grid penalty from Hungary, having originally qualified in 12th position. So there we go. So that was the grid, and here is the team news, the first team news of the season, with David Greenwood announced to be remaining at Lotus when they become Renault for 2016. Florian Volker and Joseph Willows will remain at Ferrari to the surprise of, well, anyone? No, absolutely no one at all. And a fifth tyre compound will be introduced next season in the form of the purple ultra soft tyres. Now the weather, as you can see here, this could be a very, very interesting race indeed. It is going to be a wet race, a very wet race, might I add, throughout the entire thing. As you can see, it's already pouring down with rain. So let's get this started, shall we? We now have 3 lights, 4 lights, and we now have 5 lights. It's a fairly long hold. And we're underway for the Belgian Grand Prix. And who's going to get the jump coming into the first corner? It's a very, very slow getaway as they head towards turn 1. Who is going to get the jump into the first corner? Is it going to be Nello? I think it is. He's on the inside, and I think he's got the lead. There's debris, and then, there's been a major crash at the back. There's a huge crash. There's been a massive crash at the back. Something bad has happened. Evan Byrne is around, and I think there's been a Red Bull involved. Yeah, there's a Red Bull. I think possibly, is that a second Red Bull in the middle of the track? It might be, actually. So I think the 2 Red Bulls might have been taken out here. Gal is out, and I think that's Ionescu as well. So both Red Bulls are out of the Grand Prix. Unbelievable scenes here in Belgium. So what on earth has happened here? So let's have a look. So Miguel Scow was running in 8th position. So I think did he get hit from behind, or did he cars in front? So the fourth senior in front of him, I think that was Vitrina, hit the car in front, then Gal got hit from behind, and then Ionescu came absolutely flying out of absolutely nowhere. Was it him that caused the accident? Let's have a look at it from on board his point of view, and let's see. And well, I mean, I think you'd probably say it was. I mean, Gal went into the back of no, actually it was Rick Jan, not Belgian Vitrina, and I don't know if Evan Byrne actually made any contact or not, because he was right in between the two. We're going to have a look from Rick Jan's point of view here. And so he went into the back of the car in front of him, and yeah, there he goes. He hits the car in front of him, and then I think he hits actually his teammate, hits Vitrina, his teammate, and then Gal goes into him. So let's have a look on board from Evan Byrne's point of view. If he got involved in that as well, if he caused it. He was quite close, so I don't know if there was actually any contact or not, but let's find out and see, shall we? So, and I mean, I don't think he necessarily caused that. So I think kind of, I suppose, the Red Bull's fault really that they took each other out on the first lap. I think that's the only way of putting it really. So there we go. So wow, what an incredible start to this Grand Prix that we have had, as we're looking on board from Belgian Pedrina, who's trying to recover, and he gets hit from behind by the Haas there, and I think he gets spun around. So wow, it's a pretty horrendous start for Belgian Pedrina there, and yep, gets pummeled from behind by De Rosa. So that is him. I think he's spun around there coming through the corner, as De Rosa is now obviously going to have to go to the pits as well. If you look on board from Evan Burns' point of view here, so what has happened to him? And he makes contact. Unbelievable. He makes contact with the back of Piros and De Rosa, and they are both out of the race on lap 1. So we've got, was that 4 cars out in the first lap? So at this rate, how many cars are we going to have that are going to survive to the finish? I'm not sure, but wow, what a start we've had to this Belgian Grand Prix. So there we go. So we need to actually take a step back and take a look at the order, because I have no idea. Well, it looks like it's the two Mercedes still out front, as we're looking at a battle here. This is for P, I think this is P4. This is the Williams of Ruben Quagg passing Florent Volker into coming into the chicane here, and he makes the move stick. As we look at Robert Hunter ahead of Franco Gamba, there's George Roque in 9th, Greenwood in 10th, who I think has just got past Franco Lopez. So let's have a look. So they're coming through El Rouge, coming on to the back straight, heading towards the first chicane of the circuit, and Greenwood just goes past so easily there. Franco Lopez didn't really bother putting up much of a fight. So he makes the move stick up into P10, the last points position, but still so long to go. 44 laps. I mean, it's probably going to be quite torturous. 44 laps around the longest circuit on the calendar, as we're looking at the two Toro Rossos of Robert Hunter and Franco Gamba are battling each other, as Roque and Greenwood very nearly coming to blows there, coming into the bus stop chicane, as Wilden has the fastest lap there. That was very, very close indeed. That could have gone really badly for both drivers there, but they've managed to just about get away with it, and they continue on. As we look through the rest of the order, there's Crossy 15. Oh, and Roberto Gamba's around at the bus stop chicane there, and he rejoins the track. It looks like it's a collision with Oliver Glazebrook, whose nightmare weekend sadly continues. And yep, a bit of contact there from behind from Glazebrook, and that sadly means that he is around. So we look at Bartius Kloss. Actually, was it Bartius Kloss who got involved in it? Oh, it was Bartius Kloss, in fact, who caused that. He made the contact which caused Glazebrook to go into Roberto Gamba there. So it was actually Bartius Kloss who caused that. As we're looking at George Roque, who's going, looks like past, look at George Roque, David Greenwood going past George Roque, I should say, coming down the front straight, and he gets him past him very easily, and that means Greenwood is up into 9th position. So both Lotus drivers now up 7 places on the first lap, so they've both taken advantage of all the chaos that ensued. As we're looking now at the two Williams drivers, this is a battle between 3rd place between Armar Carr and Ruben Quagg, and Quagg makes a late move on the inside, coming into the bus stop chicane, and what a move that is by the Frenchman. That was very, very good indeed. A great move there by Quagg, who goes past Carr for P3, as Volker just in the background at the moment, not really being able to close up. It looks like the two Williams have got pace here, but it also depends on the fuel that the drivers that the teams have put into their cars, because obviously in wet conditions, obviously the tyres can wear out very quickly, and obviously when you're driving on worn tyres in the wet, it's pretty bad. Let's say it's not very good, put it lightly. And as we look at the Williams coming into the bus stop chicane here, how slow he's going, tiptoeing around the chicane here. He's barely going at any speed. It's so wet out there. Williams currently got a comfortable lead ahead of Mackenzie in 2nd. As we look at the rest of the cars coming through, there's Hunter in 7th, who seems to be actually closing up on the Ferrari of Willows in front of him there. Lopez is a big gaggle of cars there, as Lopez, I think, has actually got past George Roque in the Lotus here. And yep, makes a late move down the inside. Good move there by the Argentine driver. And makes it up into P10. And there we go. And we're looking at the battle between, this is the Toro Rosso of, I think this is Franco Gamba, who's being overtaken by David Greenwood here. Side by side on the back straight. And Greenwood is on the inside, and he makes it up into 8th position. Good move there, pretty easy. And so, there we are. He moves up into P8 as they come through the right-hander there. As here is Etienne Jones trying to get past George Roque, who seems to be struggling quite a bit on these tyres that he's on at the moment. As we're coming through here, heading towards the bus stop chicane, Jones is going to go around the outside of Roque. That looks to be getting very close there. And did Jones make it stick? Roque, I think, just keeps it around the inside, the right line onto the back straight, but I thought Jones had actually got the move done there, and actually there was contact actually between the two, just ran out of room there, and actually Matthias Terwick almost took advantage there, and he could have actually maybe tried to go for a bit of a dive on the inside of there, and he had actually got past his teammate Jones, but he couldn't quite get past Roque, so Jones lost out there. unfortunately. There was a look how close. He's got two red and white cars right behind him. Couldn't be any closer as they come through the chicane. But Roke's still in the race, but he's struggling at the moment. But Terwick does just a corner later make a late move down the inside of the source and takes 11th position. Good move there by the Polish driver. Roke didn't really bother putting up much of a defence there. I mean, Terwick came fairly far back, but still, Roke could have maybe tried to defend, but really is struggling, it seems, Roke on these tyres. Oh, that's why you can see just can barely get the car stopped into the corner there. Really struggling here. But the thing is, we haven't actually seen how much fuel a lot of these drivers have got in their cars, so we don't actually know if some are heavy, if some are light. But I think we could probably tell, actually. I mean, if we're looking at David Greenwood, who's on the back of Robert Hunter, the Toro Rosso, he's on the inside, coming down the back straight after El Rouge. And let's see as he comes into the corner. Does he make moves stick? He's on the inside, and he makes it up into 7th position. A good go so far. Now he's got Joseph Willows just in front of him, and Willows could be about to be overtaken a lot here as Volker goes very wide, coming through the hairpin there, and just about keeps it on the track. It goes onto the curb there, which forces him to, which nearly spins the car around, because obviously the curbs in this weather are going to be even more slippery than on the track itself. And he went on the curb as he put the power down, nearly loses control, but just going to control it and stays on track. As here is the battle continuing. The P6, Willows in 6th, Greenwood in 7th, Hunter in 8th, Gamba not too far away in 9th. So we could have a nice battle here, four-way battle as we're looking through. As Tone still can't get past Roke at the moment, he's still stuck behind him, but Mateusz Terwick has actually got past the McLaren of Franco Lopez for 10th here. So good race so far by Terwick, who moves up into the 9th position, or the 10th position I should say, and moves up into the last points place. So good move there by the Polish driver. As we're looking now at this battle for P6, all four cars right behind each other, and I don't think Greenwood's he's not quite close enough. Fully had the slipstream coming off. The old Willows has gone wide there, so I think Greenwood could certainly make a move there. Willows got a terrible run coming through El Rouge, El Rouge there, but now he could actually be overtaken by the Toro Rosso again, because Willows got a bad run, and now Hunter's on the inside and Hunter takes P6, and Greenwood drops down a position down to P8 there. So unfortunately for Greenwood, that really didn't work out for him at all. But look at Willows, just got way out of shit. I mean, that was unbelievably scary. Coming through El Rouge there, he could have easily lost the car, and Hunter went past Greenwood so easily because he got held up. He went past Willows as well because he had no power coming off the corner there. Hunter says thanks very much and takes P6. I mean, Greenwood nearly went around the outside, but Willows kind of just forced him out a little bit there. He couldn't quite make the move stick. So that, good work there by Robert Hunter, took advantage of that. Moves up 2 positions into P6, so he gets back past Greenwood and gets past Willows. As now we have the first driver coming into the pits for a proper pit stop, Benjamin Madrina, who's going a long way on that set of tyres, 24 laps, so it's clearly going to be a two-stopper for him. So we'll see where that puts him at the end. He's right now way at the back, but we've still got plenty of time to go in this race. Looking at Warnella, who'll be pitting very soon himself. He's not got very many laps of fuel either. Could he pit this lap, actually? He comes into the bus stop chicane. Comes through the right-hander. Will he go into the pits? And the answer is yes, he does, actually. So Warnella comes into his first pit stop off the race. So will he do a similar strategy as Madrina has done? He comes in 4.7, so he had probably a little bit longer, but it is a long lap, let's not forget. Into the pits he comes. The question is, will he do a 2-stop, or a 3-stop? I mean, he could do a 2-stop, but I mean, as we know, wet tyres, when they're fresh, can give you so much time over the rest of your competitors. So let's see, one of them comes in 14.4, so that is definitely, I reckon that's probably going to be a 3-stop, I would say. I don't know if he'll go to the end after the second stop. He could, but I'm not sure yet. But Mackenzie will take the lead. Our car will take second place. It looks like Warnella will come out in third position at the moment. As he comes out of the pits, 9.5 seconds that stop. And out of the pits he comes in P3, so he's got plenty of clear air to use those fresh tyres on. Rain still coming down very hard at the moment, as Robert Hunter is actually now in the pits for Toro Rosso. I think there's another car behind him I think was in the pits as well. David Greenwood actually is in the pits, so is Turwick as well. The 3 cars are in on the same lap here. So Hunter comes in the pits. So the question is, will David Greenwood be able to get back out ahead of Hunter or not is the big question. So Hunter comes in, see how much fuel they put into his car. And it's 24 laps, so I think that's similar to Vidrina, so it's going to be a 2-stop. It looks like Turwick comes in. Greenwood does 23, so it looks like all these guys are going for a 2-stop. Turwick, yep, puts a little bit more fuel in than both. But it looks like it's going to be a 2-stop for these guys as they come out. So who's going to come out ahead? Is it going to be Greenwood? Is it going to be Hunter? Rope goes out in P10. Bartu's Kloss comes in the last pit stall right at the exit of the pits. Greenwood still does come out behind Hunter, who comes out in 12th position. Greenwood in P13 just behind him. Turwick in 14th. Bartu's Kloss comes out in 50th position for Haas. There's Roberto Gamma coming into the hairpin at the moment, into La Source. Mackenzie currently leading at this moment in time, but we don't know what his fuel is like yet. But right now, Will Neller, who's made his first pit stop, will probably be in the driving seat right now. Roman Quar currently in second place. The gap between front two was 7.7 at the last second. I think it's still around 7 seconds. So at the moment, it's looking pretty good for Mercedes at the moment. They've clearly got the pace over the 2 Mercedes as they're coming through, as Mackenzie comes through in towards the bus stop chicane for the 12th time of asking, will he come into the pits this lap? And the answer is yes, he does. So Jay Mackenzie will come into the pits for his first stop of the race. So will he be on a 1-stop? Go to the end. Will he be on a 2-stop or a 3? Will he do a similar strategy to what Will Neller has done, or will he do a different strategy? I imagine he'll probably do the 2-stop, just to be a bit different to Neller, but we shall see. And wow, Mackenzie, so Neller and Quag have already gone by on the pit straight. So Neller's going to have a huge lead at this moment in time, because if Neller and Quag have already gone past, and Neller, I imagine, will probably overtake Quag very soon if he's that close behind him. So I think Will Neller has those fresh tyres of him have worked out to perfection, because he's going to have a huge lead over Mackenzie who comes out of the pit. So Mackenzie rejoins at 11.3 second stop. He comes out in P5, so he'll come out in clear air and he'll have fresher tyres as well. But as Franco Gamma comes into the pits for his first stop of the race for Toro Rosso, and into the pits he comes. And let's see where he goes out the track. He's had actually a good race so far, Franco Gamma. Unfortunately, this season, like his last, has not been particularly good. He's probably definitely one of the unluckiest drivers in the OC. Unfortunately, there's no really other way of putting it, I don't think. But and as he comes out on track, it was quite a quick stop actually, 9.3. And let's see where he comes out onto the track in 10th position. So he comes just inside the points, ahead of Oliver Glazebrook and ahead of David Greenwood. Actually, crucially, he was held up behind Glazebrook there, so that probably worked to his advantage. Robert Hunter's come in again. So he pitted just a couple of laps before, so I think Robert Hunter has had a problem here. And let's have a look what happened to him. He was running in top place after his stop. As you look on board with him, what was the problem that Hunter had? Because he was definitely an unscheduled stop. It was an electrical problem. So Robert Hunter, who was running in a very promising position, unfortunately his car has had a problem and he's had to go into the pits. That's not what Hunter would have wanted at all. And so he's now going to have to pit again. So we're having a look on board with Will Neller, who, and this actually must have been hit, and this must be him actually passing Quag. I think this is when this is when Mackenzie went into the pits. You can see, look at the speed that Neller's got on those fresher tyres. It's just so much quicker than Quag. Then, oh, hang on a second. I think Quag may have made a bit of contact there coming into La Source, because Neller definitely tried to brake and got hit from behind, I'm pretty sure. Let's have a look at it from Quag's point of view, and yeah, they did. I mean, Neller probably did maybe come out ahead of him a bit there, but so I think still that Will Neller has a very, very comfortable lead. Could have been maybe a little bit more had that cut, but nevertheless, he was still be happy with that, to say the least. And well, if you look at the battle, this is for I think this is for P4, I believe, or P3. I think this is Jimmy Kitter getting past the Ferrari of Florin Volker into the chicane here, and yep, he does make the move, stick McKenzie up into P4. Good move there by the Polish driver. Now he's got to get past the Williams in front of him, but he won't need to worry about that actually, because Quag has indeed come into the pits. So right now, Wilnella is in a very, very good position up front at the moment. He is so far clear of anyone else. So as we look at Quag, who pits for a new set of the, I suppose, super wet tyres, or the monsoon tyres as they are called. And let's see how much fuel they put in, 19. So I think that'll probably be a 2-stop, I think, for Quag. He comes out the pits, 10.7 seconds to stop. So there's still a few drivers actually in the field that have not yet actually pitted yet. So at the moment, so Quag is one of them that has actually pitted. So he comes out in P5. So he comes out behind McKenzie. And will he just go out ahead of Joseph Willows, or will he? Willows hangs it around and past the old Rouge. And no, Willows does just get in. I imagine he'll get to almost immediately, because it'll have the fresher tyres coming on to the back straight, passing the old pit exit, and surely Quag is going to get the position. Falls alongside Willows, coming down the front straight, the back straight, I should say, and yep, Quag gets past him and moves up into P5. Good move there by the French driver, and so now he can try and maybe move up to McKenzie in front, but I don't think that will really be possible, because I don't think Mercedes are going to be caught today, but you never know what could happen. As we're looking at Glazebrook in 14th, 350, Hunter that was, sorry, in 16th. There's McKenzie in P2, Carl way down in P3, but Mercedes so far clear of everyone else at the moment. It's unbelievable. I don't see how they're going to lose this race. One of them is going to win it. McKenzie in second. Where is Wilnella? I don't know how far Wilnella is ahead, but he's ahead by an absolute ton. As we're looking at a battle for P11 here, this is between, I think this might be George Roke, I think, who I don't believe is actually pitted yet, battling with Matthias Terwick, who has. So far, Lopez has not pitted, Jones hasn't, I don't think Willows has either, Roke certainly hasn't pitted, who else hasn't? Glazebrook hasn't, I don't actually know if Roberto Gamba at the back hasn't, I don't believe he has as well, as Terwick moves past Roke into 11th. Roke, who is obviously struggling on his very worn tyres, and he's got so many more laps, 18 more laps. I pray for you, Roke, for having to go that long on that set of tyres. He's now going to be under pressure from Barty's Kloss from behind, who has pitted, so all the drivers on, well, haven't pitted yet, are going to be absolute sitting ducks. They're just going to have no grip whatsoever, because right now the rain is not receding, it's continuing. So right now Roke is just, look at how much Terwick has already got away in just a few corners, having overtaken him, and now Kloss is right behind him and is surely going to go for an overtake soon if he's not careful. He can't make it stick there as he comes through the left-hander, heading towards the bus stop chicane. Will Kloss make a move on the inside? That's a great move by Kloss, and he makes it up into P12. Roke sadly dwindles away into the distance. That's him down another position. So far, actually, we've not had any drivers lapped in this race yet, but that will certainly change soon. Here's a battle for P8. This is Franco Gamba trying to get past the Marussia of Etienne Jones, who's yet to pit. Gamba trying to make a move before El Rouge. Can't make it do it there. There's not enough room, but he'll surely make a move on the back straight, because it'll have so much more grip on those tyres than Jones to get this race. He's yet to pit this race, and he's now on the inside. Is Franco Gamba. He's side by side with the Marussia of Jones, and he makes the move stick up into P8. Good move there by Franco Gamba. Need to get past him quickly. Now he'll go after Franco Lopez in the McLaren, who has he pitted yet? I'm not actually sure. I don't think Franco Lopez has pitted yet, as far as I can remember, but I could be wrong. As we're looking at Roman Quag, who's already gaining on the Ferrari of Florian Volker in front of him, who I don't believe is actually pitted yet, I don't think. As we look at them coming through the right-left, heading towards the last section of the lap. Personally, one of my favourites, just it's so fast, and then you have to brake suddenly for the bus stop chicane. Coming through the right hand and now heading towards Blanchimont. Quag is right behind. He's going to face it very difficult to get past him before he comes through the fast left hand. He'll have to wait to get to the chicane. As he comes through, as David Greenwood has also got past Etienne Jones on the graphic below, as Quag is right behind Volker. And surely he's going to make a move coming into the bus stop chicane. He'll go to the outside. Will he make a dummy to the inside? Ooh, that was very, very dangerous there. That could have gone a lot worse. But as you can see, Greenwood obviously moving up past Jones into 9th position. and very easy there for Greenwood, just goes past on the inside, as you can see, on the fresher tyres, and moves up into P9. Good move there by the British driver. As we're looking at, this is, I think, who's that? That is, I think, the Lotus of, is that Robert Hunter trying to get past the McLaren as they're coming through? No, it's not actually. I think this is the battle for P7. This is between Lopez, Gamba, and Greenwood, and because Gamba failed to get past Lopez there, he's under pressure from Greenwood, but now Gamba's on the inside, and Greenwood is now stuck. Will he try and also make a late move past Lopez coming into the corner? The answer is, as Gamba goes a little bit wide, does position though, moves up into P7, and Lopez, who I don't believe is actually pitted either, will now is now under pressure from David Greenwood. So we're looking at Roman Quagg, who easily goes past the Ferrari of Florian Volker coming down the front straight here, past the pits. And as you look at Quagg, who's already, look at that, in the same lap, having got past Volker, he gets past his teammate Amar Carr as well. Good move there by the Lotus, the French driver there. As we're looking at Greenwood getting past Lopez, coming through the hairpin here, and coming through, heading towards the fast left-hander. So we're looking at the battle between the two Marussias right now, coming through the corner, through the fast left-hander. As looking at Kloss, who's right behind the Marussia of Jones, who's obviously not pitted yet, so he's really struggling. Turwick obviously has got up past them, up into 10th in the last spot at the moment, but Kloss could possibly pressure if he can get past Jones very quickly. At the moment, he can't quite get past him here. Where will he next try and make an overtake? Looking at David Greenwood right now in 8th, trying to close up the Franco Gamba in front of him. Turwick could definitely get up to Franco Lopez very soon, as Kloss trying desperately to get past the Marussia of Jones. He can't get past there. Will he try and get past on the inside here? No, not quite. As he comes through, where will he make the overtake? He'll surely make it into the bus-stop chicane. Good trying the outside. Will he now swap to the inside? No, this almost pushing him through the chicane there is Kloss. He's that close behind him. They come through the bus stop onto the front straight. Will he just go around the outside? And he certainly is going to do that. Is he going to make the move before the first corner? He's alongside, and yep, he's past him. And he moves up into 11th position. Although Jones is going to try and get back. There's contact between the two, but Kloss does keep the position. Moves up into 11th place. So, I mean, Kloss just had so much fresh tyres. You can see there, Jones is really struggling. But then Jones, well, he really tried to get back. He did it quite late there, and there was contact. It was lucky that there wasn't any damage to either car, but he made it stick nonetheless. Good Kloss. And there we go. So he moves up into 11th position. So good move there by the Marussia drivers. We're looking now at a battle. This is between, I think, Matthias Turwick, who's closed up to the back of Franco Lopez, and let's see if he can make the move stick. He's already on alongside him, coming onto the front straight and side by side, and he makes the move stick. Good move there by the Marussia of Turwick, and he moves up into 9th position. Great move there past Lopez, who really is struggling on this set of tyres at the moment. As we're looking at Bartis Kloss, who right now is going to close up to Franco Lopez very soon. If Lopez is not careful, he really needs to pit, but at the moment, don't see how that is going to happen. As we're looking at Kloss coming through the left-hander, he's right behind Lopez. He's closing up so quickly. I reckon he'll pass him, probably. He could pass him in the next 2 corners, possibly. As we're looking at Franco Gamba, who's got past the Ferrari there of Joseph Willows, who is not yet pitted, actually. So it's pretty much been a horrendous race for Willows, and pretty much it's been a horrendous race generally for anyone who is not pitted yet, because they're on so badly worn tyres. It's unbelievable. They must be feel like they're driving on an ice rink. Well, they are pretty much driving on an ice rink, but for them, they must feel like they're driving or just on gravel, just so hard and just so difficult, really. As we're looking now at battle, there was contact there between, I think that was Greenwood and Willows coming into the chicane there, and Willows goes wide, but Greenwood does make the move stick for P7, although he certainly did it very ruthlessly indeed. And there, as we're looking at Willows, who, from his point of view, and there was just Greenwood just barged into the back of him there. Very, very ruthless indeed there, David Greenwood. He certainly wasn't hanging around, that is for sure. He makes the move stick P19. You're looking now at Etienne Jones, who finally makes his first stop, and so does Franco Lopez. They both finally make their first pit stops of the race. I don't know if they'll actually go to the end because still pitted quite early, but I think they'll probably be on the 2 stop. So we'll see if that works out for these two or not. Let's see how much fuel they put into the car and into their pit stalls they come. So Lopez, let's see how much fuel they put in 15. Yep, so he's on a 2 stop. What about Etienne Jones in front, who's just gone to his pit box a little bit ahead? Will he? I imagine he'll be on the similar strategy to Franco Lopez, and yes, he is. So he puts in, I think, just slightly more fuel than Lopez does. So Etienne Jones comes out 9.3 and comes out of the pits down in P15, so he's far down the field, but he'll be on fresher tyres now, so he could easily close up the front as he comes out of the pits. And there we go, comes out, looks like just in front of the Mercedes of Will Nella there, although Nella does go past as Jones just through, although he'll probably be a little bit annoyed, Jones, because he'll be on fresher tyres, whereas Will Nella has been on those tyres for quite a few laps now, so we'll see if he actually does decide to unlap himself or not. Looking at as we look at the battle for P8 here, there's Barty Wilson, there's Poet goes past those Willows there, so Willows, it's getting really embarrassing for him now. He gets overtaken by Mauricio Towick, who's having a great race so far. Gets past him coming through the left-hander, they're coming through the fast left. So looking on board with George Rowe running down in 30th position, and just about, can he make it through the corner? He's gone very, very wide. He's done what pretty much Florian Volker did earlier on in the race, gets on the curb and just about loses it as well, as Florian Volker finally does come into his first pit stop of the race. Let's see where he comes back out onto the track. Let's see where he is. So right now he was running in top 5. So where does he come back out onto the track is going to be the big question. And let's see, 6.8, 70.9, so he's on a 2 stop as well, so he'll be doing a late. There's going to be quite a few cars doing late stops here. Probably will be to their advantage though, as of course they'll be on fresher tyres at the end of the race. Obviously it's meant to, I think, maybe slightly ease up at the end, I think, but it's still for the most part it's going to be very wet, so it just depends how quickly it does dry, as Volker comes out right now in P11, but he'll be on much fresher tyres than a lot of the guys around him. There's veteran Padilla, who's now actually got up into 10th position after getting involved in the first lap. As we're looking at Barcius Kloss, who's now set to go past Joseph Willis as he comes down the back straight, and Kloss is on the inside and he makes it up into 8th position, so he goes past Willis. So a lot of the back markers having great races here. Kloss having a good race, Turwick's having a good race, Jones, I mean, he could still recover and have a good race, having made his stop, as he's already got past George Rowe, as you can see, although Rowe is way back. I mean, there's no chance he's going to get points now. And oh, there's contact. There's big contact there. Gabber's made contact back of the Williams there of Armar Carr, who's having a great race, and unfortunately Gabber's luck just does not appear to get any better for him. He makes contact there as he was trying to get past the Williams of Carr. I mean, he had so much more speed coming into the corner there, but just sadly made contact with the back of Carr's car. No pun intended there. Car, and I mean, I don't really think you could. It's a tough one, really. I think I have to say to blame really on one or the other there, but I don't know if that will be investigated or not. I don't imagine it probably would be. I think it would be pretty harsh if it was. As we're looking, this has been Volker Willows and Badrina. Volker goes past Willows and goes past Badrina. 2 for the price of 1 coming into the La Source hairpin there. So Badrina obviously on the fresher tyres. Willows I don't think still has actually pitted yet in this race, so he is really, really struggling at the moment. But as we look at Badrina, who thought he'd got past Willows, but he probably didn't expect, and there was Volker saying, "Hi, have a nice time." As we look at Willows, who right now is just, he must hate the race he's having at the moment. Having been announced at Ferrari, both him and Volker for next season, they thought, yeah, no, we'll muck up their strategies and see how they have fun with it, really. But we're just about at the halfway point of the race now of Spa, as we can see on lap 22 now, as David Greward trying to do what Frankie Gamba failed to do and get past Armar Carr, heading through the left-hander, heading towards the bus stop chicane. Will he try and make a move into the chicane? Getting very close there, he can't quite make it stick, so as he goes a little bit wide there, So I don't know if it will be actually, you probably could still get him coming into the source. I think he'll probably still have the speed as Franco Gamba, who already closing back up to these two. Will Green would try and go around the outside, and yes, he does. Carl really defends here. He's not letting it go without a fight. Does Greenwood make it stick? And the answer is Carl just about getting around the inside. He is still on the inside. This is good news for Franco Gamba, who's really closing up rapidly. He's now right behind, and Greenwood does actually make the move stick. Now Carl's going to have to try and make it defend from Gamba as well, who will want revenge after that accident. Will Gamba try and throw it into El Rouge? No, that was a bit risky there. Wasn't really ever going to make that stick. We'll have a chance to do it on the back straight. But Gamba will who also try and close up to David Good if he can get past. He's on the inside of Carl. Surely he'll have this move done at the end of the back straight, side by side between the two. They come into the right-hander, and he's done it. Makes it up into P5. I think it's the highest he's run this season, Franco Gamba. Having a good race there. Mackenzie right now in P2. He's 40 seconds off Will Neller in first place. That is absolutely crazy how far that Will Neller is ahead right now. He's looking very comfortable out front. I don't see how Will Neller's going to get toppled, but you never know. The weather could still change things. Running in 7th, and Towick actually could get Carl soon if he's not careful. But Gamba already looks like he's closing up the back of David Good. Looks to be actually having quite a good race, actually, Gamba, for once. Apart from that thing with the car, his car actually looked very quick today. It's a shame for him as well. He was unfortunately him. That electrical problem has kind of scuppered his chances of a good result, but you never know. There's still plenty of laps to go. We've still got half a race to go. On lap 23 out of 44 at the moment. As we look at the Marussia here of Towick rapidly closing up to the back of my car, but obviously Towick has got to watch his mirrors because he's got a Ferrari right behind him. I bet this is what he probably didn't expect either, to have a Ferrari behind him during this race, but he's definitely closing up, but so is the Ferrari of Volker as they're heading towards the bus stop chicane. So I think Towick, if he can get close enough, going to make a move on car, possibly on the front straight, but Volker is closing even more quicker than before. As we look at Franco Lopez, who is battling with Joseph Willers here. Lopez, does he go around the outside there? That's a very, very ballsy move. He pulls it off, and he does. So good move there by Franco Lopez. Moves up, I think that was in good position, as Volker has actually caught up to Towick. He's on the inside, into the bus stop chicane, and he does make it stick. Moves up to P7. Good move there by Volker, who now try and get past Amar Khan, and I imagine he'll do it probably with ease. And he's already passed him, past the start-finish line, and makes the move up into P6. Good move there by Volker. So he gets two positions in a couple of corners there. There's Franco Lopez right now running in P10. There's Will Neller, who's lapping the Toro Rosso there. I think that is of Robert Hunter. And here is Towick, who's right behind the Williams here of Carr, coming down the old pit straight. And he can't quite make it stick there, but he'll surely make the move on the back straight. He'll have the speed, he'll have the power, he'll get to the inside car. I imagine won't really bother trying to defend very hard at all. As Will Neller is actually in the pits for his second stop, you can see on the bottom of your screen. As we look at Towick moving past Carr into P7. It's a good move there. As we look at Clausen 30, there's Jones trying to get past Joseph Willers, who still is really struggling on those tyres. Will Neller pits, and he'll be pitting obviously once more, so he will be on the 3-stop, but I think that's probably Neller really regarding how the stops he's on, because he's so far clear of Mackenzie. He'll easily come out ahead of him. The advantage you'll get will just extend by around, I reckon it can get about 15 seconds in about 4 or 5 laps, I think. I reckon it's just that powerful. As Franco Gamba now comes into the pits for Toro Rosso, for his, I think this is his second pit stop of the day. He's had a very, very good race so far, apart from that collision with the car. Unfortunately, these kind of accidents do happen. But into the pits he comes, and let's see where he comes back out of the track. He won't go to the end, will he? No, he doesn't. But still, just a little bit more fuel, so he'll be on the 3-stop before the end. So Franco Gamba comes out of the pits. How quick the stop? 8.3. And let's see where he comes back out onto the track at the moment. He's going to come out in P10. So he comes out, looks like just inside of the point. So for sure, it looks like a point finish will be on the cards for Franco Gamba, that is for sure. As we look at them coming through on the back straight. This is a battle between, I think this is Willows and no, this is Volker and Greenwood, I should say, for P4. Volker getting on the inside of Greenwood and passing it for P4. Obviously Ferrari actually showing some pace on the fresher tyres at the moment, that is for sure. As we're looking at Matthias Turek right now, running in a very, very impressive P6 at the moment. He's having a fantastic race so far. As we're looking at Franco Lopez right now, running in P9, there's Gambit Jones and we could have a big battle for the well, just to get into the points. Really, we could have definitely a few surprises in there. As looking at the battle between Williams versus Force India here, as we're looking. As he really defends, coming through the hairpin there, does arm our car from Belgian Vadrina. That's allowing Franco Lopez to catch up. As now Vadrina is on the inside, heading towards the left-hander. Surely he will make the move stick, and yep, he does. He makes it on the inside. Moves up into P7, so that's very easy. And now car is getting attacked by both Lopez and Franco Gamba. And before long, I reckon, whilst his cross, if he's got pace, goes up on these guys as well. As we're looking at these guys coming through the right and left, and they're heading towards the double right hand. They're heading towards the last sector of the lap of this track, one of the best tracks, or probably one of the best tracks as well. As I say, as we look at them coming through, his cross has definitely closed up. These guys holding it, not how the cross has actually closed up from behind them here. So as we're looking now, the battle between these guys, and can he make it on the inside there, Lopez? No, he can't. But now he's got to be careful into the bus at chicane, because he's got two other cars who are really wanting blood, wanting to get past these guys. Lopez tries it on the inside. He can't make a stick there, and there's contact. And Lopez has been hit by Gamba from behind. And have they got away with damage? I think they have. And Franco Gamba, they're really desperately trying to get past car coming through the back straight here. I don't know what's happening. So car's being overtaken by Lopez. Now Gamba's trying to get past. Now Kloss is trying to get past car, and as they come through into the corner, there's car being overtaken, and Kloss has managed to get past both. What a move by Barsis Kloss, and Franco Gamba could be mugged here. And has he got past car? Yes, he has, but he's lost a position to Barsis Kloss as Jones gets past car as well. What a battle we are having here in the lower reaches of the points here, the Belgian Grand Prix. What a race we are having. So Gamba will be incredibly annoyed under that helmet of his. He'll be swearing in Italian on the radio there. As here we go again. This is part two. Now it is Lopez right behind Vadrina with Kloss and then Gamba. But what's going to happen this time? So Lopez makes the move into the hairpin. Will Kloss try to make it into the chicane, I should say? Will Kloss try it as well? The answer is no, he doesn't. Let's see if they try and make a move coming onto the back straight. So Lopez makes it past Vadrina into 7th position. Vadrina down to 8th. Kloss will probably have the straight line speed coming off the corner. He does try and go around the outside of him. Vadrina is not going to give it to him too easy. They're coming into the corner, and now Gamba's going to be on the inside, and Gamba gets past Kloss. So now Kloss knows what it has felt like, and now Etienne Jones is trying to get past Kloss as well. Great battle here, as now Gamba's right behind Benton Vadrina. Will he try it into El Rouge? He's surely not going to be able to make it stick. He's just not quite there coming through, but he's surely going to make a move onto the back straight here, coming off the corner. And what a battle we are having for the lower reaches of the points. Now Gamba's surely going to get past Vadrina, and behind him as well. Etienne Jones is trying to get past Barsis Kloss, and so Gamba's on the inside, and he does get past Vadrina at last. And Jones doesn't get past Kloss. Kloss just holding it around the outside. Surely Jones has got the move done. No, Kloss does hold on to the position there. Great battling here. And oh God, look at that. Will Miller is about to come into that battle, so he won't like what he's seeing. Have to be very careful trying to get past those guys for sure. As Joseph Willows does eventually come in for a pit stop, and would he be pitting again before the end? Nope, he'll be going to the end on that set of tyres. But it's been not a great patch, unfortunately. It's not worked out for him at all. So it's not really what he would have wanted as we're looking through the race order. Can we go back to that battle for the lower end of the points, please? I want to see what's going on now. As Willows comes out in P14. He could still get some points though, because he'll be on fresh tyres. But you never know, really, as we're looking at Brad Gamba in 17th, there's Turwick in 6th, there's Lopez. I wonder if they could close up to Turwick, I don't know, but now Franco Gamba is already closed up to the back of Lopez, who I think is actually closing up to the back of Turwick in front of him. They're heading through the last sector of the lap. Kloss definitely isn't closing up to these two now that they're in clear air. So now this is a battle for peace, big battle for P7 here. Gamma moves to the left. He's never going to make it there. There's just no room. He can't overtake side by side there. And so they're going to see coming up to the bus stop chicane whether they can make another move again. Gamba right behind Lopez coming into the chicane. I don't know if there was any contact there. It looked very close if there's any contact, but Gamba's gone very wide there. Now Lopez has really caught up to the back of Mateusz Terwick coming onto the front straight. I wonder if he could make a move around the outside here. He probably definitely has the speed, although Terwick really isn't making it easy for Lopez. He really defends Terwick coming into the hairpin. And so they're going to have to hold position once again as they come through La Source. And now who's going to make the next move? They're right behind each other, these three. Now Will Neller is actually just lapping Kloss in the background. So Will Neller is actually going to be coming out to these guys as well. Lopez trying to get around the inside. He's not going to make it stick there as Kloss really doesn't let Neller through, coming through a rouge there. So having a look ball with Jones and Kloss. So I don't know what happened here. So this is obviously after where Kloss just held the position from Jones and coming through the hairpin. So did anything happen here? But this might have been the replay, I guess, of so we're looking through on board with Etienne Jones, who obviously couldn't quite get past Kloss there. And so Kloss actually does get past, I think, Vedran Vedrina coming through the corner there. And yes, he does. He moves up into ninth position past the Force India of Vedrina there. So, no, Etienne Jones has got a problem. Etienne Jones has got an issue. So, oh dear. As we're looking at him coming through, he's gone onto the grass there, coming through the chicane. And he comes back onto the track, and he comes right into the path of Armar Carr. I really don't know what Etienne Jones was doing there. And so when he was going to be out of the race anyway, but he almost eliminated or he took out Carr in the process. But I believe actually Carr might have actually got away with that without any damage. Jones, who was going to retire anyway. I don't actually believe Carr actually did get any damage. So I think he might be lucky enough to have gotten away with that. But oh dear me, and yep, there goes Carr. So it looks like he does get away without any damage, but Etienne Jones, his race is done. As now here we are looking at the battle once again with E6. This must be where Lopez gets past Terwick coming on to the back straight. He's alongside Terwick. It's been a great, I mean, this has been an unbelievable race so far. We've still got 15 laps to go, and it was a loose wheel actually that caused Etienne Jones' retirement. And so there is Lopez getting past Terwick for P7, and now I imagine Rebecca Gamba will be right behind as well. And here it is. This is Gamba right behind Terwick, but now he's got Barty's Kloss right behind him as well. Gamba does make a move onto the inside as Carr does actually go into the pits this lap. So I don't know if I still don't know if he had damage. I don't think he had. Makes a move on the inside, and he goes a little bit wide. Terwick try and get back past, and no, he doesn't. Gamba's got the entire life, and he gets the position there. Now Kloss is going to be right behind, so Carr comes in the pit. Does he go to the end? And yes, he does. So he's going to be on fresh tyres. So let's see. Carr recover before the end of the race. If you look at him coming out of the pit, he comes out in P12 at the moment, and right now Willow's right now running in P13 right now. As we're looking at Nella, who's so far clear at the front of the field at the moment. As we're looking at Barty's Kloss now on the inside of Mateusz Terwick, and he makes it up into 8th position. Gets in front of him, coming through the left-hander there, and makes it up into 8th position. We've still got, not very many laps to go really. We've still got, how many laps is that? 13 laps to go as Mackenzie comes into his final stop of the race for Mercedes. It's been a very comfortable race for Mercedes, really. I mean, compared to, well, everyone else, really. Will Nella, I think, looks set to win, and I think at this rate, I think if Nella wins and Volker finishes any further down on the podium, I think Nella could actually take the lead of the championship here. As we're looking at Mackenzie coming out of the pit, he comes out in P3, but obviously I imagine, I don't know who it is, it's Roman Quagg actually comes out in P2, but I think Quagg does have to pit before the end, so I think Mackenzie will take second place back. As we're looking through the rest of the orders, there's Terwick in 9th, there's Kloss in 8th position, there's Petrina, who's actually closing up to the back of Terwick actually for 9th position. So I imagine Terwick will probably want to pit very soon if he wants to have any chance of getting some points in this race. This will be one of the few chances that he can actually get points from this race, because obviously this race has just been so I mean, it has been pretty chaotic, to be fair. I mean, obviously with strategies as well. Some drivers not pitting. Some drivers just on one stop. A number of drivers on two stop. A few on three. So looking at the battle for P6 now. Jones has as Greenwood has got past as we're looking on the inside, and Glazebrook trying to unlap himself here as Gamba has got past Greenwood for P6. So good move there by Franco Gamba, and so Glazebrook there getting involved, and so that helps Franco Gamba a lot, and he makes the move up into P6 as Barty's Cross now comes in for his final stop of the race for Haas. I guess probably trying to do the undercut on the guys in front of him. He'll of course be going to the end of the race, so into the pits he comes, and let's see where he comes out onto the track. The 9.6 second stop. So the question is, will he have any traffic in front of him? If not, then he can, I'd say, go ham on those tyres. I don't know, but he'll certainly need to. He can certainly, and yeah, he isn't. He's got no one around him at all. He's got Roberto Gamba, who's a bit in front of him. So Boss is actually could be in a very good position here, as Gamba's now up to P5 actually now. So I don't know if anyone else pitted in front of him. I thought it was P6, but as we're looking at Romain Quag coming in the pit for Williams, and let's see where he comes back on track. Well, I think I know where he's going to come back on track. Okay, so I think he's going to come out on track in the P3. I don't think he's going to be able to close up on the cars on the two Mercedes in front of him. Certainly not Nella. He could still maybe get to Mackenzie, possibly, but I'm not sure. I don't think Williams has the pace to up the game to Mercedes, who have been, as I said, just so dominant. They've been so far clear of everyone out on track right now. So it's, I mean, no way that they're going to be able to catch up as Quad comes out of the pits, P3, and let's see where he comes back out in the field. So he comes out, looks like still going to be in P3, so it looks like it's going to be a pretty comfortable podium, I think, for Romain Quag as he comes out in P3. Yep, and there is a Lotus of George Rope, who's running in a very lonely 14th place at the moment. So we're looking at Franco Lopez running in P6. He'll be pitting fairly soon. I imagine Franco Gamba will be pitting fairly soon as well, because obviously he won't be going to the end. I don't actually know. So Kloss obviously is pitted, so he's in P10 at the moment. He's in a good position right now. He'll be on fresher tyres, but obviously depending on how late these guys pit, as Franco Lopez does actually pit this lap, depending on if he uses his tyres well, he could still come. But he's in a good position. We'll have to see if he can actually keep that up or not. But as we're looking at Franco Lopez, who comes into the pits for his final stop of the race, so into the pit comes, and let's see where he comes back on track. This will be definitely fascinating to see, as in the pit he does come. And well, where is he going to come out onto the track? This is going to be very, very, very interesting to see. In the pits, 16 laps of fuel put into the car. And where is he going to come out onto the track? Let's wait and see. So he comes out, drops down to P9. Will he come up behind Kloss? I think he could come up behind Kloss here. He's down to P9 because Kloss is running in P10. So where is Kloss? Is the big question. I think that might have been Kloss coming through the corner there. And has Kloss got out in front? And yes, he has. So Barty's Kloss has got ahead on Franco Lopez here. But the crucial thing is, obviously, the McLaren definitely is the fastest car, but Kloss has got out ahead on those fresher tyres there. As we're looking at Legend Madrina making the move on Matthias Terwick coming into the source, and he makes it up into P7. So a good move there by the Croatian driver, who's had a pretty good recovery, I have to say, actually, from the first lap. So he's had, as we look at the rest of them, look at the battle. This is Kloss, who's actually already caught up to the back of Terwick. How quickly those fresher tyres are working. So he already gets past Terwick, and he'll want Terwick to hold up Lopez if he wants to stay in front of him. Obviously, now as they're coming through the traffic, so Kloss is going to be coming up to Veteran Madrina soon as well. So it's going to be interesting to see, actually, with David Greenwood and Franco Gamba as on these guys in traffic. So Lopez is being held up a lot by Terwick here, but obviously Kloss is being held up by Madrina in front of him here. This is actually incredibly entertaining at the moment. We've still got 11 laps to go. There's Kloss right behind Madrina, Lopez right behind Terwick. As we see Will Neller's actually coming into the pits at the moment for his final stop of the race. He's so far clear at front of the field that he almost really thought about him. Really. So as we look at him coming out of the pits for the final time, out of the pits he comes. 9-second stop really, so no danger there. So he's going to come out. He's going to finish so far clear of his teammate Mackenzie by the end of the race. He comes out in first position. He won as David Greenwood. Now this is going to be interesting. David Greenwood has come into the pits for Lotus. So Franco Gamba still hasn't come in yet, I don't think so. I imagine he'll be pitting in a lap or so's time as David Greenwood comes into the pits. Kloss is definitely come out ahead of him in P7. Veteran Petrina has actually now come into the pits. So Kloss has taken advantage of this. Is actually as Armor Car goes past Kerwick there, and so does Lopez. And they make contact, and then there's contact, and Armor Car has been hit as they make contact coming into the La Source hairpin there. And Armor Car and unfortunately, he's going to come away with no points at all. Excuse me. As, yep, there's contact. He gets hit from behind. Kerwick goes into the back of Lopez, who in turn goes into the back of Carr. I don't actually know if Lopez got any damage from that. He gets to between those two, will be under investigation. And, I mean, I suppose Lopez did come out in front of Kerwick there, I would say. But I actually think Franco Lopez might have actually got away without any damage there. Is Greenwood, is he going to come out ahead of Willers there? No, Willers comes out just in front. Out in P12. But that's going to be very interesting to see if these guys can close off on the big gaggle of cars at the tail end of the points right now. As we look at Mackenzie right now in a second, he is a minute behind. He's over a minute behind Warnella out in front right now. So this unbelievable performance. We're looking at Robert Hunter coming into La Source here, and he makes a late move on the and he makes a late move on the inside of Willows, and it didn't work out. And unfortunately, Robert Hunter any points from this race are now pretty much over. So that unfortunately is going to be the end of him getting any points in this race. Willows, I think, got away without any damage there. He's lost a fair bit of time there, Willows, but I think fortunately for him, I mean, he could still get to Willows. So I have no idea who the end of the points, who is going to finish where, and what. I don't know. I honestly don't know at all. So looking at Robert Hunter, who comes out, rejoins, 10.5 second stop. This race unfortunately has gone horrendously wrong for him. Unfortunately, he's just turned on his head really, really badly. So right now, qualifying in P3. So right now, Willis is in 11th. Greenwood is in P10. Who is actually, well, now he's in P10. Last year, so Willis, I didn't actually realise this. We're looking on board, looking at the view from these two. So right now, it's Nella in first, Mackenzie in second, Quark third. As here's the rest of the 10. So Kloss right now is running in an incredible P6. Carr is in 7th, but I think Carr is going to get past Kloss. His car is definitely much quicker than him on the fresher tyres. So I think Carr is definitely going to get past him. So there's Kloss in 6th, Carr is in 7th, Greenwood is in 8th, Willers is in 9th, and now Kerwick is in 10th, as they've now just got past Kerwick, who I don't know if he's actually pitting before the end or not, but Kerwick, who's been having a great race, but unfortunately if he is going to the end, then he's going to struggle. I don't think he's going to get any points, so I'm not sure entirely, but as we're looking at Willows coming into this, now Florian Volkrich comes in for his final stop of the race for Ferrari. Into the pits he comes. Let's see where he comes out under the track, as my voice is really struggling at the moment, having done this for almost an hour. As we're looking at Volker coming into the pits for his final stop of the race for Ferrari. So it's not been the worst ever for Florian Volker, but it's just not entirely been, as you could say, the best, really, I guess you could probably say, as Volker comes out the pits, 8.1 second stops. Where does he find onto the track will be the interesting thing, as we look at Franco Gamba, who comes in for his final stop. So Franco Gamba's got quite a few laps, so I don't know if that's going to work out for Franco Gamba or not, but it will certainly be on the fresher tyres, that is for sure, for the end of the race. Oh, excuse me. As Franco Gamba comes in for his final stop of the Grand Prix, and where is he going to come out onto the track is going to be the interesting thing. They have much fresher tyres than the rest of them around him, so where is he going to come out on track? I'd be very interested to see this. Let's see, where is Barty's Kloss? I don't know if he's come across the line yet, but I think Franco Gamba might come out ahead here. Or this actually is going to be very tight, and so I think Franco Gamba might actually have come in ahead of the two, and I don't know why we're switching to the other guys here. But no, Kloss has actually got ahead of Franco Gambaro, and I don't want to be looking at Turwick going to the pits. I want to be seeing this battle ahead. Do we have race from still 19 here? Turwick comes in his final stop of the race, so he obviously did have one more stop before the end, so I don't know if he'll have a chance of getting the pits. Franco Gambaro's been overtaken by Carr as well, and we've missed all that. Can we see the replays, please? As Carr has actually got past Franco Gambaro as well. I thought he'd just done enough to get past Kloss, but he hadn't. And Carr actually managed to get ahead of him as well. So, my goodness me, what a race this has been. So, for Mathias Turwick, I don't know if he'll be on the much faster tyres, but will he be able to close up to these guys at the end of the top 10? I don't know, but we shall find out as Turwick makes his stop 7.4, quite a quick stop by the Mauritia crew. But this is not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the battle for P6, and now here it is. Here's the battle for P. This is for P5. So Bartis Kloss running an unbelievable P5 here. Only scored 1 point finish before. As far as now on the inside of him, getting past him for P5, coming down the back straight. As we've got a yellow flag out on the track somewhere. Where is that? As we've got a car off, and there's a car off, and it was a Mauritia, and it's Mathias Turwick, unfortunately. So I think he was probably trying his best to try and recover, see if he can get some points. Unfortunately for Turwick, he is now going to be getting absolutely zilch from this race. So there we go. So Turwick, who he just made his pit stop on the fresher tyres, and I think the rain definitely has stopped. So, but it's still very, very wet. So Turwick just slides off wide, and unfortunately goes into the wall. It's unfortunate for Turwick, who's had a great race, and he could have easily still maybe even recovered to get some points, because he would have been he was on the fresher tyres. But unfortunately for Turwick, he's going to be getting absolutely nothing from this race. So that is that for him. So that is that race done. That is the race done for him. Oh, goodness me, I'm going to get my words up. But now here is the battle. This is the battle for P6. Now this is Kloss, who's even though he's on the fresher tyres, Gamba's on much fresher ones than him. But Gamba now on the inside of Kloss, coming at the end of the back straight, and he makes it up into P6 past Bartis Kloss. We have to say Kloss has put in a fantastic performance. Hopefully Kloss can hold on to the points. Now Franco Gambaro is on much fresher tyres than any of these guys around him, so he could easily get up the car in front of him. But here is veteran Vadrina, who is right behind Joseph Willows here, and he's now going to get past him, coming down the back straight. Willows, who sadly has not had the greatest race in the world, and he gets past him, Vadrina, into P9. Coming at the end of the back straight there. Good move there by the Croatian driver. He makes it up into P6 as well as P6. Up into P9 past Willows, who was into P9. So Willows drops down to P10. I'm going to get my words out. I've been going for over an hour here, and I'm struggling here as Turwick has received a 5th place penalty for causing the incident between Omar Carr and Franco Lopez. And now here is the battle. This is the battle for P5. This is between Carr and Franco Gambaro. Franco Gambaro has had a great race so far. Probably been his best race season so far, as we've just got 5 laps to go of this race, as we're looking at Gambaro right behind the Williams of Omar Carr. He's probably he'll either make a move coming into the bus stop chicane, or he'll make a move coming into the La Source hairpin, as they're coming through the left-hander, heading towards the bus stop chicane. And Franco Gambaro right behind Carr coming in. He's trying to move on the inside. There's contact! They make contact, and Gambaro's around! Franco Gambara's around! He spins coming into the bus stop. No! Oh no! And there's contact, and Gambaro's been hit by Kloss. I think Kloss is out of the race. And oh no, you cannot believe what has just happened here. And Bartis Kloss is out of the Belgian Grand Prix. That is unbelievably harsh luck. Both Kloss and Franco Gambaro both have had exceptional races, but Kloss is out. There's 5 laps left. Unfortunately, is right near the pit, so he'll be able to fit for fresher tyres and for a new front wing. And David Greenwood is in the pits as well, so he's not gone through to the end. I don't know if he had a problem or not, but oh my word, unbelievable! What an end to the Belgian Grand Prix this has been. So Franco Gambaro, who tried desperately to get past Carr, made contact, and then unfortunately spun right on the racing line. And then Bartis Kloss came along and then hit Gambaro's car, and then that's why, because Greenwood actually hit. Greenwood was the reason why Kloss was actually hit the rear wing, the end of his car, and that's what caused Kloss to retire. As we're looking from Greenwood's point of view here, coming through into the hairpin. So there was Greenwood, and then Thought, and then actually no, I think Gamma caught the end of Boss's car anyway, but Greenwood unfortunately got caught up and hit the back of Boss's car, so that explains everything. So Greenwood comes out in P8, so there's confirmation of Kloss out of the race. Greenwood comes out in P8. There's Roman Quagga P3, so he comes out just ahead of Franco Lopez. Franco Gamba, I really feel for the bloke. He comes out in P10, so he's still getting a point, but he certainly could get more. He's on fresher tyres, so I think he'll easily close up to the guys behind. But I don't know honestly how much bad luck one person can get, as Robert Hunter is battling with George Roque here for P11 at the moment. So this is just for the outer reaches of the points. So as I said, I really feel for Franco Gamba. I really do. His luck just doesn't really go his way. Hunter is now right behind the Lotus of Roque, coming on to the back straight as they're heading towards, as we've just got 4 laps to go left of this race, as now Hunter is on the inside of Roque. Hunter, it could have been so much a race for him. It could have been so much better for Toro Rosso, and unfortunately it's all gone it's been a mess really. It's all gone tits up really, is the best way. Is this? I mean, that's the only way of putting it really. I think it has gone like that. It's just gone horrendously wrong. As we're looking at, this is a battle between Joseph Willows and David Greenwood, but Greenwood get past Willows, although Willows tried desperately to get back past through the corner, but he wasn't ever going to make that stick there. So he moves up into 7th, recovering from that crash, and Franco Gamba closing up to the back of Franco Lopez for P9 at the moment. And here's the battle for P9. Franco Gamba will want to get up another position at least after it's what he certainly deserves. He certainly doesn't deserve to finish down in 9th or 10th. He certainly deserves to finish, 6th, maybe even in the top 5, but unfortunately that's just the way the things go. But he does make it past Franco Lopez for 9th position. But here is your race leader, Will Niller. He's absolutely dominated this race from the first lap to the last. The 3-stop strategy in the wet conditions actually worked out for him absolutely perfectly. So it really did work for him. As now Franco Gamba's actually got past Willows already. So he gets past Joseph Willows, who was being lapped by Quagga. And look at that. Great move there by Franco Gamba. Took advantage, and Quagga goes wide coming through the corner there. But great move there by Franco Gamba. He moves up into P8 there, past Willows. And now Franco Lopez could get past Willows as well. He's really struggling, obviously, on those tyres. And for Willows, it's been a horrendous race. Lopez is on the inside, and he makes it up into P9 there. So Willows will be getting just a single point from this race. But as we look at Will Niller, who's actually lapped the championship leader at the moment, Florian Volker, but I believe after this race we will have a new championship leader, because I believe with as they are, I think Will Niller is going to take the points lead after the Belgian Grand Prix. And I mean, some people didn't think it was possible. I mean, I thought Volker got away at the start. I think that's actually the battle for P5. I think this is Veteran Vedrina. Great recovery that he's had in this race, taking advantage of everyone else screwing up around him, and he is actually battling Omar Carr for P5 here. I bet he didn't expect that after the first few laps. As David Greenwood, look at that, David Greenwood has set the fastest lap for Lotus on the last lap there. So good lap by David Greenwood. That would be something to be happy with, but he probably would have wanted a better result than that, but he was not going to be able to close up to these two in front of him. As there's Greenwood just about coming through El Rouge there. There's Quagga, there's Lopez, there's Willows, there's Roberto Gamba, there's Robert Hunter. But here comes Will Niller. He's set to come through the bus-stop chicane for the final time. He has absolutely dominated this race. The 3-stop strategy in the wet conditions was, it just worked to absolute perfection. The Will Niller comes through the bus-stop chicane for the final time, 44 laps, and Will Niller is going to win the Belgian Grand Prix and take the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Congratulations to him. Unbelievable race. 92 seconds he is. That's like a minute and a half he's ahead of his teammate Mackenzie. Florian Volker comes across the line in P4. As looking at the battles throughout there's still battles going on still now throughout the rest of the pack, as Mackenzie is going to be in second, and Vedrina has got past Carr. What a recovery drive from Veteran Vedrina. He has got past Omar Carr on the last lap of this from the Croatian driver. Absolutely brilliant from him. And I bet he didn't expect to finish P5. Great P12. race to get him. Glazebrook, a very uneventful race for him as well. He comes through the last sector of the lap for the race, and unfortunately for him, as I said, it's just not been a very good race for him at all. It's just I don't know what actually happened to him. I haven't seen him at all this race. He's just been pretty much forgotten, really. I mean, so has Roke, really. He's had a very uneventful race. Both those two, certainly, I think, possibly in danger of a seat for next season. But as Glacier comes across the line in P13, but Veteran Virginia, what a recovery drive from him. P5 across the line he comes. Amar Carr, I'll be pretty happy with his recovery drive as well. Comes across the line in P6. As we look for the next guy coming across the line, which would be David Greenwood, who set the fastest lap of the race last time out. As he comes across the line, don't think he can better it, but he comes across the line in P7. As we're looking at Jim McKinney to come across the line in P2 to make it a Mercedes 1-2. So far behind, a minute and a half. Nella one by that was done as the Toro Rosso just comes across the line alongside him there. So Franco Gamba comes across the line P8. He'll be gutted with that. He'll have wanted a much better result than P8. Roman Quagg P3. He'll be pretty happy with that. Franco Lopez P9, and Joseph Willows finishing a very lonely P10 as he comes across the line. And the last driver to come across the line, Roberto Gamba, a largely uneventful race for him. And so finally, Robert Hunter comes across the line in P11. He misses out on the points after what could have been such a better race for him. As David Greenwood, as you can see, sets the fastest lap of the race, 2 minutes and 4 seconds. That one. And here is your full race results from the Belgian Grand Prix, with Warner winning ahead of JP in second and Roman Quagg in third. The only 3 drivers finished on the lead lap, with Florian Volker, Benjamin Marina, Amar Carr, David Greenwood, Franco Gamba, Franco Lopez, Joseph Willows completing the points, respectively, with Robert Hunter also lapped down in 11th position. And the second half of the order, 12th place was George Roke, 2 laps down. So was Oliver Glazebrook and Roberto Gamba, also 2 laps down. With Bartis Klaas, Matthias Toeig, Etienne Jones, Evan Byrne, Gerosimo de Rosa, Robert Dinescu, Rick Yan, Andy Moscow, all retiring from this race. So there we are. So let's take a look now at the drivers and constructors standings. As you can see here, Will Miller does take the lead from Volker by 6 points, with Mackenzie not that far away actually now in third. Willows way behind in fourth. Carr in fifth. Pogba's at 6th ahead of Ionescu. And that's 8th. First down 9th. Really good in 10th. 1 point behind it. Now is Virginia up to 11th position. The second half of the order, Franco Lopez down to 12th. Hunter 13th. Byrne 14th. 30th. Glazebrook. De Rosa, Gamba moving up to 18th. Jones 19th. Roke 20th. Roberto Gamba 21st, and Bartis Klaas last with a point. He could have had so much more today, Klaas. He'll be pretty gutted with how that race ended as well. And now we're going to take a look at the constructors' standings. Mercedes still lead the constructors' standings by a fair whack ahead of Ferrari in second, Williams down in third, Red Bull fourth, Force India in fifth, Lotus in sixth, McLaren 7th, Porsche 8th, Rouge Unite, Sauber 10th, Haas 11th. All quite spread out actually, the constructor standings. So yeah, there we go. That has been the Belgian Grand Prix, and my word, that was long. I'm going to get myself a drink after that. But unfortunately, everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to, as usual, vote for your drive of the day and give the race a rating out of 10. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you for the next round of the OC, round 13, the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you there.